Hello everyone, and thank you for watching Fayetteville Public Utilities Channel 6. I'm Sarah Mack-Young, and in our studio today we have a special guest with us. We have Miss Stephanie DeMay.
Hello.
Hi Stephanie, it's great to see you and
Thank
great
you.
to have you here at FPU. You work with South Central Human Resources, but you have a particular program that you work with and you are in charge of there at South Central Human Resources. As I said with Tricia the last time she was here and Sarah Brown, SCHRA is a gem in our community.
It is.
And a lot of folks don't know about what all's available there, so it's really great to have you here to talk about your program. But before we get started talking about your program, tell everybody at home a little bit about yourself.
Alrighty. Well, first I want to thank you for having me. This is super exciting. I'm very passionate about what I do at South Central. A little bit of history about me. Let's see, I was born and raised in Bozeman, Montana. Not from here, but I love Tennessee. I have my LMSW degree, and I'm currently in the National Guard, so kind of a wide range of experiences that I've been able to come up with, which has been fun. And that's about it for me. I really enjoy what I do. Like I said, I've been with South Central for about 8 months now, so really excited to see where we've come and where we're going to go moving forward.
Absolutely. So the program that you work with there at South Central Human Resources is Justice Services.
Yes.
And I don't know that folks really know what all you guys take care of there.
Okay. And it's a pretty big program. There are 3 main programs that I do oversee. The first one I really talk about is what's called community corrections. So that's almost like a probation type community supervision program for nonviolent offenders that are released from jail. We supervise them pretty strictly to make sure that they're meeting all the requirements. We do drug screening, we help them get jobs, we help them if they need any sort of mental health, substance abuse treatment. So it's kind of a wraparound concept where there's a lot of accountability, but there's also a lot of assistance. And with South Central, we have so many resources, we can kind of tap them into all the different resources we have to offer. And it really helps people kind of get back on track and live the productive lives they want to live. They just need a little extra assistance once they get out of jail to do so.
So when you say nonviolent offenders, you might want to explain to folks what that means. They may not understand that at home, what that means.
Right. So the community corrections clients that we get, they do have felonies. Every single one does have a felony charge, but it's not anything like aggravated assault, nothing in which they have tried to physically harm somebody. The main charge that we see, honestly, is drug related. So it's, intent to sell or something, of course we've been hit by methamphetamine, we've been hit by heroin, we've been hit by fentanyl, unfortunately. So all of those individuals that have charges of that nature, like I said, the majority are substance abuse related, come to us, and that's why there's such a big push for substance abuse treatment, individual counseling, again, assistance getting legitimate employment, things of that nature.
Which is great. So you guys are going to help them.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's awesome. Okay, so how do people get into the community corrections program?
So that has to be court ordered by the judge. They would go to court for their hearing, and the judge would determine whether or not he feels they're an appropriate candidate for community corrections. And once that order is given to us, we take them on as a client. Typically, depending on their sentence, we may have them anywhere from 1 year to 10 years. So we really get to know our folks. We really learn about their families, about their needs, about their kind of their personal story, and that I think is what's really impactful. It's not nearly as punitive as other experiences for them. But again, at the same time, we're right there. They're coming to see us twice a week at the front end, and there's a lot of accountability, and we hold them to it. So
awesome. All right, so tell us a little bit about, you talked about the community corrections, but there's 2 other parts of your program as well.
There are. So the next one I want to talk about is the pre-release program. That is actually in the Lincoln County Jail. It's through the Justice Assistance Grant that we have received. And what we do there, we have one case manager. She's amazing. She goes into the jail and works very closely with some members of the faith-based community as well to provide certain classes to those incarcerated individuals. So we do AANA meetings, we do financial readiness classes, there's a parenting education, there's an MRT class. MRT is kind of a big thing right now. It's moral recognition therapy, and it helps people identify the ways in which their thinking patterns have led them to make choices that aren't in their best interest, and really helps shift behavior and thinking, and we've seen a lot of positive results from that program as well.
All right. So, and we were talking about that, but now community corrections is in every one of the areas that South Central.
Yes.
So that's your 13 counties?
Correct, yes ma'am.
So you have that everywhere, but you have seen this other initiative is here in Lincoln County. Is it in other?
It is not. We do not have it in any other county at this time. I know other areas are starting to incorporate, similar models, but we absolutely hope to move forward. We're actually, I'm in conversation with Coffee County. Hopefully we can get that up and running. But it's just such a critical component in my eyes, because we build that relationship while they're in jail in hopes of helping them transition when they get released, in a productive and supportive way.
All right. So that's really cool. And then there's something else that's actually that falls in with your part there at South Central, which is relatively new. So let's talk about that too.
Okay, and I could talk about this. So Lincoln County Recovery Court. Recovery courts, they used to be called drug courts, if anybody's heard of that. They started back in the 80s in Florida, matter of fact. But we had our first one here in Lincoln County open up just about 2 years ago now. We're looking at our second graduations coming up the end of the month on the 31st. And for those of you that don't know anything about Recovery Court, again, it's a very impactful program because it has the accountability piece of the court system, the judicial system, kind of marrying with a social work helping mindset where we're trying to help these individuals get to a place where they can live a clean and sober lifestyle, as well as be there for their children, as well as get employment and pay taxes, as well as pay their child support. So it really reaches the whole, kind of is the whole picture as far as rehabilitation goes. And for the community, these individuals that were once incarcerated because they have an addiction can be out and really learn the skill set that they need to learn to be productive members of society. I'm very passionate about the recovery courts. I think gratefully, thankfully, we are starting to shift our culture a little bit about addiction and how truly devastating it is for the individual, for the family, for the community. There's a gentleman that I love hearing him speak. His name is Dr. Stephen Lloyd. He's out of the Johnson City area, and he talks about addiction is like somebody hijacking your brain. So you're not driving the car anymore. You're right there in the passenger seat watching all the devastation, but you're not driving the car anymore. So helping individuals get out of jail where, unfortunately in jail they're not receiving any sort of substance abuse treatment, and they're learning skills, that they need to learn to be in jail. But I think when we get them out of jail, get them into treatment, get them into supportive environments, sober living communities, communities that want to help, we really have a chance at undoing some of this generational substance abuse culture that we have and really making an impact long term.
All right, so the folks that are in recovery court, they're no longer incarcerated. They come out, they go into a community where they are supported, but are they also they're learning how to help with their addiction, but they're learning some life skills too there, correct?
Yes, absolutely. So it's a very intensive program. We as a team, the team is made up of judge, public defender, district attorney, somebody from the sheriff's department, a treatment provider, and then our staff. And we as a team kind of almost dissect every facet of their life to try to see how we can make a positive impact. And so that's things like showing up on time for an interview, or how to even get your resume to a place where you can apply for jobs, or how to schedule your day in which you're able to find transportation, or you're budgeting in a way to where all your money's not being funneled, to your drug of choice. And so it's all those life skills, all those sober living skills that we really work on with these individuals. And they're in our program for up to a year, if not more, here in Lincoln County. We have a felony recovery court in Lawrence County, and and those individuals are there in the court system or in our recovery court for about 2 years. And we're actually just going to open a recovery court in Murray County, should be the first part of November. So we're really trying to branch out this concept as well. Lots of positive results, lots of shifts in mindset, from the criminal justice side, which I greatly appreciate, because incarcerating these folks, evidence has shown that it's not really working. So we need to look at something different.
Absolutely. So these folks are mandated by the courts to
Yes.
into the program.
Correct.
Awesome.
Right. Yeah. It is voluntary, but they get to get out of jail. And once they join our recovery court, then all of the requirements that we place upon them are court ordered at that time. So
absolutely,
yeah.
And it's very stringent as well, just
Yes.
like the other.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's a very difficult program. A lot of our people struggle at the front end, but just the intensity and the intensiveness really helps kind of refocus and restructure thought processes. And I can't say enough about the recovery courts. I hope they continue to grow. I think it's a really interesting and comprehensive approach to treating addiction and treating, the families, like I said, and the individuals, and how we as a community can get to where we aren't as adversely affected by addiction and substance abuse.
Very cool. That's just a couple of the things that fall under justice services. I
Yes.
see in the brochure there's a couple other things there too.
There are a couple other, the one other one that we focus on at the time is we do a DUI school. So if anybody is convicted of a DUI, they are required to complete this DUI class that we offer. We do that twice a month, once in Marshall County, once in Lawrence County, and all of this information is available on our website, absolutely. But we're trying to expand that as well, just because people need to take this class. It's a 12-hour class. It's pretty. It makes you look at some things for sure. So that's a really good resource that we offer as well. And then we do, being that we're a nonprofit agency, we do have the opportunity to. For individuals to complete community service at our facility. So that's just kind of another little facet.
And so how would they do community service if they wanted to be involved?
Right, so they would just call the front desk and ask for me, ask for justice services. We typically do it on Fridays, but things kind of ebb and flow depending on the needs of the community. But that might be a good way to kind of get your foot in the door and get the schedule.
Absolutely. So Stephanie, if folks are interested in learning more about your programs, or maybe if they've got a family member that's incarcerated and they would kind of needed to navigate that and maybe see how they could get them into one of your programs, how can they get in touch with you?
Well, like I said, our website is the best kind of go-to. It's www.SCHRA.us. You're more than welcome to reach me. I'll give you my phone number. It's 931-224-9132. And I'm probably the best point of contact, so I can get you to the right person to talk to. And you're always welcome to stop by. We take walk-ins. If you have a question, we'll find time to meet with you, because we just are so passionate about our programs.
And tell everybody where you're located. You're on the Winchester Highway.
We are 1437 Winchester Highway, right there on 64. So.
What used to be the old Jonathan Logan building.
Okay,
That's for people here as a point of reference. But you're there, your doors, actually Justice Services is kind of down towards the Trilogy pool side.
It is. Mm-hmm.
So definitely just walk through that door, and
Anytime.
you and your staff are happy to help folks.
We are, absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, we've had Stephanie DeMay here. We've been talking about South Central Human Resource Agency's Justice Services. And just quickly tell them again the different programs that you offer real fast.
Sure.
And tell them how to find you guys.
Alrighty. So we have the Community Corrections Program, the Recovery Court Program, and then the Reentry Program, as well as a DUI school. And then if you can just go online on the website, it lists all of our counties, all of our addresses, the phone numbers, emails. But you're more than welcome to call me at 931-224-9132.
All right. Well, thank you, Stephanie. It's been a pleasure having you in the studio to talk to us all a little bit more about the programs that you offer through South Central Human Resource Agency.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
And it's a pleasure. Thank you for your service in our nation's military as well. And we thank you, our viewers, for watching FPU's Channel 6, and we'll see you back in here next time.